There is an enormous amount of waste and fraud and abuse in this government, and the function of an administration is to administer. And that means that when there is waste and fraud, you have an administration who should also be on top of that situation.
We cannot keep our promises on Medicare. We simply must make the cuts in waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare so that the benefits and the premiums are untouched. We owe it to our seniors. We owe it to our country.
When I hear my friend Dave Camp say you cannot cut money out of Medicare, well, we don't want to cut the good stuff that you point out, or add the prevention. But if we're going to, if what Senator Coburn says, that 1/3 of Medicare doesn't go to patient care, you can't just get up there and say we don't want to cut anything out of Medicare. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff.
Okay, that was Independent Senator Bernie Sanders and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer saying, yeah, you got to cut the incredible amount of waste and fraud in the government. Why are they then protesting Doge and Elon Musk? The U.S. budget deficit already surpassed $1 trillion. That's a new record. And now we have federal judge William Alsup, a Clinton appointee, ordering 6 government agencies, including the VA, to offer back jobs to 30,000 probationary federal workers that were let go. And also Judge Tanya Chutkan is saying, yes, Doge, you got to show these 14 Democrat state attorneys general what you're doing on cutting waste. Let's bring in the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. Secretary, it's great to see you again. Your reaction to everything that you just heard, what do you think about what's going on?
Well, if you would just take that out of context, you would think they were applying for a job at Doge. As they look at it, because, you know, the difference, though, is Donald Trump came into office and to make generational change, and he's actually making the change. What Schumer, Sanders, and Pelosi are doing is talking a good game, but just not following through, and it's been at the detriment of the, frankly, government and the American people as we go forward. But I will say this, Senator Schumer there in that part made my case completely. And that's what we're having here at the VA. When we actually look at contracts and we look at personnel and we make efficiencies here at the VA, he just made the comment, he said, if that is in the program and it doesn't go to care, it needs to be cut. Well, exactly my point. If we're not taking care of veterans and our care and benefits, then we don't need it at the VA. We need to redirect that funds to where it needs to go. Interesting.
Secretary, so the VA, we've heard that the VA has laid off about 1,000 workers, but it's out of a massive workforce of 482,000. Is that right? I mean, what do you make of this judge's ruling that says you have to rehire back those probationary workers that were let go?
Yeah, well, let's look at it in the perspective of truth here, and that is the numbers that have been laid off from a probationary standpoint were 0.5% of our payroll, 0.5%, and they were all non-forward-facing jobs that are not critical to our patient care or our benefits and disability assignments. So, look, you know, we just started about what the judge is ruling. I'm sure there's going to be more legal consequences, appeals and stuff there, and we'll just go forward. But I will say this, it's not going to, you know, we need to make sure we're focused on doing what we need to do to make sure that the veteran is put back first at the VA. And, you know, you had a clip earlier from Democrats talking about, you know, Sanders talking about going gut the VA and Mullen talking about wait times and how patient care is going to be hurt. I'm tired of sitting senators and House members scaring my veterans and scaring my employees because nobody bothered to ask them, well, how do you see that happening? Why would it be? Because in the last 10 years, GAO has actually said that VA healthcare has been on the high risk list for susceptible to fraud, waste, and abuse, and to low quality care. In 10 years, all that Mitty and the Hill did was actually just add money and add people, and we got worse results.
Secretary Collins, thanks for setting the record straight. It's really important information that you just put out there, Secretary. Thank you for being with us tonight.